Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thanks so much for stopping in today. This layout is for the Paige Evans design team, and it's for International Scrapbooking Day. So I hope you are getting some fun crafty time in today. I'm going to make a layout for a challenge over on Paige's Facebook group. So make sure you look over there for challenges all day long. My challenge is to incorporate mixed media on a layout. Surprise, surprise, right? That's my favorite thing to do. So I'm going to do some stamping and some watercolor type of things on my layout today. And I was inspired by the stamp set that I showed you just a second ago in Paige's new Wonders collection. And this is paper number 6 in the Wonders collection. And when I saw these little half circles, I immediately thought of banners. And so I just grabbed my scissors and started to fussy cut some of these out. And then I kind of bent the scallops so they would kind of arc, so they would look like hanging banners, and I'm gonna somehow make them work on this layout. And that color scheme of the banners was what is going to kind of inspire the colors that I use on my background. So I'm going to use thick, smooth white cardstock and clear gesso to get this background started. The gesso is just going to prep the paper for anything that I add to it, and it's going to allow me to blend and spread the colors around. And I'm going to use a black and white photo of me and my husband, and I kind of want it to go right there with the banners behind, or not behind it, but below it, kind of going all wonky like you see there. And I originally, when I looked at the stamp set, I wanted to use that big heart, but then once I decided on the banners and had them on the page like this, I changed my mind and decided to use the little banner scalloped border stamp to make a background design. And so this is just one way that you could use stamps. I like to use them on a background and then kind of make it look kind of messy. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So this is Mermaid Lagoon Distress Oxide. Oh, I have a bobby pin in the top of my hair. That's nice. Yeah, there's the top of my head. It's lovely, right? So all I'm doing is loading up the stamp with the Mermaid Lagoon and then kind of stamping. I kind of wanted to create a vertical design. So coming from the very top, and I thought about going all the way to the bottom, but I don't. And I kind of start going wonky and making them kind of uneven and crooked. And I chose this color because it's one of the colors, or close to one of the colors, in the banners. And I always love blue on a background. It's kind of my go-to color for pretty much anything. Now, I don't always use blue, but you know, it's one of my favorite colors. So I'm just stamping. This is an easy technique to do. Now this really only works well if you use gesso, and it also depends on the ink. This is what I like to call my layout got left out in the rain and it got wet and it made the colors run. And I love this effect, especially with the Distress Oxides. Now the Distress Oxides will react with water if you don't use gesso, but it works so beautifully if you do use gesso, because you can see instantly that I'm almost able to erase the stamping, which I'm not trying to do. I just want to blend some of this out to make it look messy and watery. And the part, well, I tried to gesso the whole paper, but like the very top row of stamps, I didn't get any gesso there, and so those stamps aren't really going to blend. You can kind of see there, I just went over it. They're going to stay put. But the rest of them, where the gesso was, I'm able to activate the Distress Oxide with water and kind of basically make the shape disappear. So this is actually something that comes in handy if you make a mistake, because you can just wet it right quick and then wipe it up and start over. Usually. Sometimes you can still see it, but it's easy to correct mistakes if you do this. So once I had the Mermaid Lagoon down and started adding the water, I wanted to add some variation in the blues. So I pulled out a shimmers, and this is one of my favorite shimmers. It's a darker blue color. It's called Deep Blue Sea. And I just dabbed a little bit of it in to kind of mix with the Mermaid Lagoon, and I feel like it matches the scallops a little bit better, and I love that. I love those two blues mixed together. And I don't want to, like I said earlier, I don't want to completely erase the scallops, I just want hints of the scallops there, because you can definitely still see the idea of the scallops, but then you've also got these watercolor splotches. And I also want the blue to kind of peek around both sides of the photo there. So I'm going to see how this looks. I do decide to kind of continue down below the banners with some purple, and I'm going to use another shimmers. I tried to use a Distress Oxide, but I didn't have any that matched, and then I forgot to press record. So I'm so terrible about that sometimes. I think I hit record and then I don't, but you did not miss much. I used a shimmers called Princess, and all I did, seriously, all I did was spray it onto the page and then use my brush to kind of spread it around and then kind of bring the blue down to kind of blend into the top of the purple section there. That's all I did. So you did not miss any more stamping or anything like that. But I wanted a different color down below the photo and kind of be behind the banners. And so I went with purple. And so that's pretty much a basic mixed media technique, is if you're using sprays, is just to spray it onto the page and either leave it as is, or if you want to spread it around, grab a brush and do that. There's so many different things to do with mixed media, and anything goes really, especially for this challenge. You could use stencils, you could use gelatos, you could use watercolors, you could use acrylics. It doesn't matter. There's so many different ways to add something to the background. And here's what I've got so far. You can see the shimmer there from the shimmers, and I love how this looks. I like that you can still see the scallops, but yet you have this watercolor on top of it and around it, and I just like it. I love random backgrounds like this sometimes, and I just kind of went with what I felt like making at the time, and I like how this turns out. So I'm going to do some layering behind the photo. I'm going to add a little bit of white tissue paper. I do this a lot. I know a lot of people ask me why I do that, and I just like the way it looks. It gives a subtle border behind the photo. You know, it's kind of like vellum. You can kind of see it, but it doesn't really stand out a lot. You can see it, but it's just something small and detailed, and it helps to separate the photo from the background. I pulled these two papers from the 6x8 paper pad from Wonders, and I'm going to layer them up in a messy way behind the photo. And I picked these two colors because I've already got a lot of blue and purple on the background. So I'm trying to spread the colors around and not use too much of one thing. That's my little edge distresser tool there. There's a little, I don't want to say razor, it's just like a little sharp edge in the middle. And then when you rub it on the outside edges of your paper, it kind of tears it up a little bit and makes it rough. So I love that effect. I use that little thing all the time. And see how that makes the photo just stand out from the background a little bit better. I like that. And of course, I like to tear the paper. You know, I like things messy and uneven, and so I like that. And you know, if you want to try a stamping background like this, you don't have to do the watercolor part of it. Like, you don't have to activate it with water. You could do this with stamps and just keep it nice and clean and have your scallops down there. And it would still look really cool. You know, everybody has a different style and different preferences for how they make their layouts. But yeah, stamping on a background is fun, and you could totally do it in a clean way if you don't want to get super messy. I glued all the scallops down. I left the edges, the rounded part, up, and then I machine stitched through all of the banners, and you can see how dimensional they're going to be once I kind of bend them up. I want them to look like they're flowing in the wind. You know, I love that about banners. And so I like to have the stitching along the top because it just kind of makes it look like an actual banner. And I just used white thread for that. And now I'm going to start to embellish. I tried a couple of these cardstock stickers. I wasn't sure what I wanted to add. I looked at these dimensional stickers. I tried some of the hearts. I thought about layering some hearts behind, but I didn't want to contribute to any more of the busy factor of all those scallops in the background. So I'm trying to find a happy medium to, you know, work with the background, also not cover it up completely. Now this is a piece that I cut out for my previous layout for Paige Evans that I did not use, and it's this cut apart sheet. I think this actual piece is from the 12 by 12 paper pad, but it's paper number 17, and it's got all kinds of things that you can cut out. So I'm going to use that heart on this layout. But then once I used it, I thought it's too much of that pink color, because I used the pink also as a layer behind the photo. So I trimmed off a little bit of orange and tucked that over on the side there. And that kind of breaks up all of that dark pink color. And then I want to overlap the heart on top of the photo, because there's just a lot of negative dark space. It's just my husband's jacket down there at the bottom right hand corner, and so that's a good spot to overlap something, because it's not covering up anything important on the photo. Now I found this other little tiny miniature banner on one of the cut aparts, and I felt like I wanted to bring all those colors and the shape up to the top of the photo, or the top of the layout. So I played around with that and decided I want to put it up at the top there, just to kind of echo all of those banners. And then I thought about using this piece that says, "Today was a good day," or "This was a good day." But it was so thick, it took up too much of the blue. Like, it was covering up too much. I didn't like that. So I'm going to fussy cut that out so it's just the sentiment. And then I'm going to put it down on top of one of the banners there, I think. This little piece here is from one of the 2x2 paper pads, and I like that it was purple. It says something about memories. And again, that's a new color for the area up top above the photo. Since I've got some purple down below, I wanted to, I had some purple up at the top. And then I pulled a couple stickers from this little piece here. This is from the sticker book. And then, before I start gluing things down, I'm going to add in some thread. I'm going to use that dark blue color, like the Mermaid Lagoon color that I used first with the stamp. This color thread matches that perfectly, and so I just added a little bit of that color to the right, and then I'm going to add some pink over to the left. Now it's a lighter pink, so it's not the same pink as the heart, but I'm trying to pull colors from the banners to kind of spread around and use for embellishments. And I'm not looking for large embellishments. I feel like, and this is something I mentioned I think in my previous layout earlier in the month, was that, or last month, was that if I'm going to use a big embellishment, I almost need to start with it rather than add it later. Because if you look at this, where I am at the stage of the process of this layout, I'm getting close to being finished. So there's not really any room left for me to add something big. And if I do, it's going to cover up a lot of things that I've already done, and I don't want to do that. So at this point, I'm looking for smaller things, if that makes any sense. All right, I'm going to glue down that little piece at the top. I am going to go through and stitch it later so it matches. I think I stitched through it. Maybe I don't. We will see. I'm going to use a couple of these puffy phrase stickers to kind of take up some of the white space in between all of the banners. This one says, "Happy Day." This photo was, we were on a plane. This was a few years ago. We were getting ready to take off to head to Phoenix for Creativation. We were actually going to stop in Las Vegas first because, we love heading to Vegas. So we went to Vegas for a few days and then went to Phoenix from there. But yeah, it was really exciting and we had a good time. I popped that little phrase up that I cut out, add some adhesive foam behind that to give it some dimension. And I tried to make it curve because it was on top of the banner, so it looks kind of like it's sitting on top of the banner. I pulled out the 12x12 chipboard stickers, and I'm going to use, I think, all of the little hearts that I have on there. They're pink, or light pink, darker reddish pink, and then orange. And since I had the big heart on the photo, I thought I would kind of space a couple of these cute little dimensional hearts around the picture. And it kind of breaks up the blue. And yeah, I like those. Chipboard's awesome, especially if you're a fan of dimension and depth. Chipboard is great because it already jumps up off the page. And even though those have sticky on the back, I'm still going to glue them down because, oh, I did stitch through it. Yep, I knew I wasn't crazy. Well, you know what I mean. I'm going to add love over to the left here because I felt like I had Happy Day on the right. I needed something on the left to kind of balance that out. and that's a darker pink color. And I don't really add another, well, I do add the word memories using these little stickers from the sticker book because I wanted something right there on the very top banner piece, but I don't really add a big title. So, I mean, the title of this could be Love This So Much, it could be Memories, it could be Love, it could be Happy Day. I just felt like the banners were so cute. I didn't want to cover them up with a giant title, so I just kind of let the smaller subtitles act as the title. I do add a couple of small stickers up at the top. I felt like I wanted to create some kind of little cluster, so I tried some of the sticker book stickers, and I'm trying to, again, separate all the colors. So I got the little yellow sticker there. I think it says important. And I tried another little banner piece, but I felt like, oh, maybe I do use it. No, I don't. I finished this layout a few days ago, so I'm trying to remember as I'm doing the editing here what I did or didn't do. I do add a couple more stickers up there though, but I'm trying to, like I said, go small because I don't want to cover up a lot of stuff. I am going to add white splatters because I've been on a white splatter kick lately, and I just think it looks really cool, especially on top of darker colors like this blue. And I just use watered down white acrylic paint. It's nothing fancy at all. It's like a big bottle that I've had for a long time. I got at Walmart. So it's, I just squirt a little bit of it on my desk, wet my brush, and then the water from the brush will kind of dilute it a little bit, and it makes it splatter really easy. And it just adds some interest and detail. I'm going to add this little today piece. I think that was part of the something that I fussy cut from that paper number 17. And then I'm going to add my journaling right here on top of this banner because it seemed like a good place to do it. And then that's it. That's the final page. I love how this turned out. It was really fun to do, and it really wasn't that difficult as far as mixed media goes. So I hope you will join our challenges. There's challenges going up literally all day long. There's cut files. You know, Paige, she's going to present you with some gorgeous cut files. So be on Facebook over there all day. You're going to see challenges. Something's going up every 15 minutes, I believe. It's crazy. But yeah, my challenge is challenge number 4. So check it out over on the Facebook group. And if you do make a mixed media project, you're going to leave the picture of it in the comments of that thread. And the same rules are going to apply for all the challenges. You know, just leave your project photo in the comments section of that post. And then there's going to be prizes and winners and all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you check it out. I got all kinds of close-ups going here of all the details of this page. But let me know if you have any questions. And I hope you have a happy International Scrapbooking Day and that you get lots of crafting done. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.